Hello everybody, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today, I've been following a time-lapse that a art provider from China had posted. And I use this person to order a lot of my stuff off of Amazon, if it's Oriental oriented. And they post time-lapses or pictures of their different products in use. So they had one where it was a time-lapse of a vase with a fan and flowers in front of it. So I did it on one of these boards where I had white paper there. So this is pre-mounted paper. And I'm going to do another one on this blue just to kind of see and experiment with it. And this is my first time painting on it. So if you want to check out that page or that Amazon seller, it's Panmay, P-A-N-M-A-Y. So just wanted to throw that out there and kind of hopefully throwing credit where credit is due to the right person with that. Yeah, so let's jump into it. So I have the Yasutomo traditional Chinese ink that I'm going to use. You can use India ink, and you probably use the Dr. P.H. Martin ink. Just the quantities of these is nice. There's just a large amount of ink. You don't have to worry about using it up too quickly. I took an old watercolor paper. This is most likely Canson rough or Arches rough. I folded it in half, cut along that ridge, and then did that kind of cut along the side to create a vase. I have paper towel that the cats attacked in the middle of the night, so I'm putting the paper towel to use, and I'm going to use that to kind of stipple in the texture of the fan and the vase. So I'm going to set it off center a little bit, right about here. I think is where we'll go with it. I'm going to grab some ink. I'm going to try to crop the video so you can see, at least see what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to hold this down flat and stamp on top. This is my first time painting on top of this blue paper. I'm not sure how they tone it or what they do with it, but I think it'll be interesting once I get to the white gouache or the yellow gouache for flowers. It should look pretty nice. Applying more texture and darks to the right side. That'll be kind of my shadow side. A little bit of texture in there. We'll see how this looks in a moment. Okay, that gives a good effect for the vase, the vase. I'm going to put in the fan, and I'm just going to use this as the border so I don't texturize off the fan. Go about here. I am having a little bit of trouble with the stamping property, as you can probably tell. I'm wondering if they used rice paper to stamp. Crinkling it up. There we go, we got that one edge. Then our next edge is out the way. And it'll come off right there. There we go. trying not to repeat the pattern. There we go. All right, so that is the paper for the fan. I'm going to put this stencil on the side. I'm going to grab some pure black ink. This is the Chinese bamboo brush. It's used for painting bamboo, or all the bamboo leaves and chrysanthemum leaves and the orchid. So it's just kind of named after what it's used for. I'm going to put in the wooden pieces that would radiate out on this fan. I'm going to come from here. I'm going to do another one in between each one. Okay. And like I said, I'm following a time lapse that I'd seen. So this is kind of my interpretation of it. And hopefully I'm giving credit where credit is due to the correct maker. That's the Pan May. But you are more than welcome to follow whatever I do in a video. And I also ask that you like and subscribe and consider supporting this channel on maybe Patreon. I do have the Etsy down below if there's anything that you're interested in. Do a little bit of marks. Okay. There was a horizontal line drawn in the time lapse, and in my last one that I tried, I went for just a dry brush effect. This one I'm going to try to paint entirely black. Reason being is, I wonder if the dry brush effect was too much texture. So I'm going to post both of these videos, but let me know what you think. If you would have dry brushed the table or went straight ink. Pushing it around, trying to get a nice solid ink foundation. Ooh, now I had an idea. Rather than just stippling, sponging with black, what it would be like to stipple sponge with white paint. Might be a good experiment for future use. Okay, looks like we have good coverage there. Around the edge. Now here, is the black portion painted, and on the inside a little highlight was left along the inside stem. And being a lefty, I need to start working from right to left as opposed to left to right, so that I don't drag ink around. I'll tell you what, it's great waking up. You know, you check your email, you check Facebook and all that other stuff. It's great waking up and seeing somebody post art, and automatically inspires you to get up and start working on stuff. I get back to teaching in about, today's the 21st, so in about 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, we'll start school up again down in Louisiana. But unfortunately, across the nation, we are having a rise in the virus. So I thought school would maybe look normal this year, but I'm not certain at this point what things are going to look like. I'll keep you all posted. I was under the weather the past 2 or 3 days. In fact, that video that I posted yesterday, I think it was yesterday, of the sky painting on watercolor with the heavy granulation. I was feeling pretty crummy during that. Even during the oil paintings yesterday. I haven't released the oil paintings yet. My art has been in a lot of different directions, and I don't think I bit off more than I can chew. I just genuinely enjoy all the exploring, and I think it keeps things fresh. Like yesterday, I was playing with, I want to accentuate these lines, make sure there's no ink there. Yesterday I was playing with Prussian blue in oil painting. Because I was doing glazing, I was experimenting with that. And the Prussian blue, you know, it's transparent. It really worked well for glazes. And then in heavier application, it acted like a dark or a black. So I'm gonna have to experiment with Prussian blue in watercolor. I know I used it before, but I think I only used it as kind of like a counterpart to ultramarine blue. So there's going to be that. And apparently the blues in traditional Chinese painting is the same material, or at least the Chinese ink blocks or the Japanese ink blocks. If you know the one that I'm talking about, the wave, there's that very common ink block that was apparently printed, I guess, with a Prussian blue. Okay, now the next thing here is to put the stems in for my plant. Let's go up. last strong bit of black. Okay. Go. Got a really good wash off. I used titanium white. I used gouache instead of Chinese white. I wonder if I should put the Chinese white out. Yeah, let me find Chinese white. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Okay, so this is Marie's Chinese watercolor. It's not mixed up well. The Chinese watercolor paints differ from Western watercolor paints due to the binder. In Western, I believe we usually use, you can hear all the liquid in there. In Western, we use gum arabic as a binder. In the Oriental painting, the Chinese or Japanese painting, I believe it's an animal glue binder. So it does have some different properties, and it's able to withstand the wet mounting process that's used within the Oriental arts. Okay, so I'm going to paint in. Oh yeah. That's coming out great against that blue and black. You might be saying, Mr. Broussard, what flower is that? And my response, I have no idea. I am just having fun. I'm playing with the densities and the locations of them. I do want to put some fallen petals. All right. Let's see if there's any other locations. Gotta remember, less is more, especially with this style painting. Okay, how do I mix this with the yellow? This is yellow gouache. So this is Da Vinci brand. And the Chinese white will just kind of add to the opacity. Just give it a little extra help. me take a look and see how everything's looking. Oh, I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying this paper. One thing I will say, and I've kind of mentioned it before, is that I try not to take on new art genres or whatever for the purpose of monetary reasons for selling and all that. First and foremost, it's experimentation and learning and playing around. But then I will say there's not much of a market for this style of art in Louisiana. Maybe I should post these on Etsy if people would want them. Let me know in the comments. You think I should put these up? People would be interested in it. I'm going to place my seal. My seal is Beard in Chinese. So that's my nickname. I ordered this a few years ago to be carved. It took about 2 months for it to be shipped or to arrive. I had ordered it from China, and I had checked online with different sources and different people, and it's either directly is beard or it's hairs from the side of one's face. It's just fun enough for me. I think it's fun. Let me pause it to do a quick dry off. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day.